Both targeted assistance and school-wide program plans follow the steps of the continuous improvement process and must be based on identified needs, including specific goals and strategies, and be developed and reviewed annually with the input of families. This video describes the essential components of the school plan template and planning process for school-wide programs. The continuous improvement process lends itself well to school-level planning. Districts have a great deal of autonomy in determining the format their schools use to develop their plan and are encouraged, but not required, to use Oregon's Title I-A school-wide planning template, which meets all the necessary criteria. For districts that choose to use their own template, this document serves as a review tool to ensure all required plan components are included. Regardless of the format used, the following components must be included in all school-wide plans: comprehensive needs assessment, goals, activities, and measures, family engagement, and evaluation and review. The first section of the template focuses on the comprehensive needs assessment. A comprehensive needs assessment should include reviews of multiple sources of data from at least 3 categories: student data, perception data, and systems data, and should be informed by robust community engagement. Completing a comprehensive needs assessment helps schools identify the specific needs of students in their school. A number of tools to support schools in the needs assessment process can be found in the resources section of this module. During the needs assessment process, schools should ask the following questions. Who are our students? Have your student demographics changed over time? What trends are you seeing? How is your school serving students who have been historically underserved by the system? What data did we look at? Did we use multiple measures of data in our review? Did the data reviewed provide a comprehensive view of the school and community, as well as the opportunities and challenges that should be addressed in a school-wide plan? What is the story our data is telling? What are the strengths and needs of the students the school serves? What are the barriers and root causes that students in the building face? What opportunities and strengths exist that can be used to support the school's academic, social, and other goals? Who is at the table? Which community members, for example, students, staff, families, tribal leaders, and tribal organizations, were included? How did we ensure all voices were heard? How did we remove barriers to participation? The next section of the template is where goals, activities, and measures are described, which aligns with Step 3 of the continuous improvement process. This includes the following: goals and outcomes. What change are we hoping for? Goals and outcomes are the changes in academic achievement, mental and behavioral health, social and emotional supports or policies that affect students, educators, and families. Activities and strategies. What are we going to do? Activities are the actions the school will take to address the goals identified in the plan. Measures. How will we know if what we are doing is working? Measures describe how the effectiveness of activities will be measured. And professional learning. How will we support staff? The next section of the template is focused on family engagement. Family engagement is a powerful strategy and a key practice in helping schools build trusting relationships with families as co-creators in their children's learning. Each Title I-funded school within the district must collaborate with families to develop and implement a plan to engage families, structures for families to provide input and feedback on school plan and processes, and compacts of shared responsibility for student achievement between students, families, and teachers. Engagement is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. Authentic and meaningful engagement is an iterative process where leaders must continually ask, whose perspective is missing? Then, inclusive processes and actions must follow that build trust and respond to community needs and assets. To be most effective, and to ensure that no one is inadvertently left out, schools should utilize more than one strategy that authentically engages families. The timing of meetings, the primary language or languages spoken, and supports for childcare and transportation can all have an impact. When considering family engagement, questions schools should consider asking include: How do we involve families in developing the plan and providing feedback? What steps do we take to remove barriers to participation by all families? How do we communicate about opportunities for family involvement in school activities? And what are the strategies we use to help families support their students' learning? Remember, the school plan must be developed with the involvement of family and community members, and if appropriate, in coordination and integration with other federal, state, and local services, resources, and programs. The last section in the template addresses plan evaluation and review. We often have a clear plan for implementation, but not necessarily for evaluation. ESSA requires that plans are annually reviewed and adjusted as needed. This means looking at the data identified to measure progress during the planning process to determine whether adjustments need to be made to meet our goals or strategies. It's important to know how you will monitor and measure their progress before you begin implementing your plan, so that you are collecting the correct data along the way. Questions for reflection include: how are we doing? How do we know? What are we going to do next? How are we including the voices of students, families, and staff? And are we doing what we said we would do? Again, remembering to include families in this process is critical. When the review happens is not as important as that it happens. Thoughtful planning provides an opportunity for staff and families to engage in planning and collaboration to enhance the quality of program services that tremendously benefit the educational experiences of students. Now, please return to the module for the next learning activity.